Aquarius, how y'all doing? It's time for your 18 till 25 November love reading, general reading, sun, moon, rising and ascending. If the reading doesn't resonate with you, you might also want to look at your communication, your Mercury, or you want to look at your Venus placement. And if you don't know where that is, there's a link down below in the description that explains to you how to get it. It says free natal chart. All right. For those of you always supporting, thank you so much for that. Welcome back. My name is Adrian. For those of you that don't know me, I'm an intuitive healer, holistic wellness practitioner. I practice spiritual regression hypnosis. And for those of you that are absolutely amazed by my beautiful thumbnails, they were created by my best friend, who is also an Aquarius. And there's a link down below in the description. It says AC Digital Marketing Solutions if you need any graphic design work done or social media management. If you do hear sort of a grung at the back, apart from being an incredible graphic designer and a social media manager, my friend is also an incredible baker. So she is busy making a cake for a mutual friend of ours whose birthday we are going to. All right. Okay, Aquarius, let's see what we got for you. First card coming out for you there in the recent past. We're going to look at the recent past, the present, what's kind of heading towards you, and then we're going to look at the overall energy. I'm going to clarify, and we are going to finish off with this oracle deck that I love so much. Angel Prayers. Is it Angel Prayers? Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Wait, there's a whole handful of cards. Let's see what we got for Aquarius. And then, okay, in like a week or two, I am also going to give you your 2021 overall reading. All right. So what we have, the first card that came out, I'm going to do it for you like that, is the Five of Wands. So that is the recent past. All right. That is about sort of like conflict of emotions. And also remember that this is what sort of bring you where you currently are. All right. So, but if we're going to go into a bit more detail now, but that Five of Wands, that is conflict of emotions, and most likely with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. All right. Yeah. All right. And then, so where it currently brought you to is the Nine of Cups in reverse. This is a bit of a sense of, it could be hopelessness, but this is more not really being to focus on love right now. This is because this reading is focusing on love. This is more kind of being focused on yourself, you know. So if you are with somebody at the moment and there's any sort of problems, you might not really be too invested in getting this sorted out. You'll be like, you know what, whatever. I'm so tired of this. I kind of had it with this. I'm done with this. And if you are single, you know, maybe just recently broken up, or you're single, you're not with anybody, you're not exactly looking, you know. You're like, I'm going to put myself out there like this. I'm not going to do that. We're going to clarify, but I get a little something around that for you. I guess I'm going to check it out. You might be surprised. So what's coming towards you is the Five of Pentacles in reverse. All right. Now, Five of Pentacles in reverse coming towards you in this particular situation is actually a very good thing, because you know, I think one of the main reasons, especially with that past being so sort of like confrontational, you may not be that interested in where you currently are, because you're like, you know what, I don't have the strength for this right now. I don't have the strength for it. I don't have the energy for it. I'm not going to do it. I am done. All right. And as I said, we're going to clarify. I'm going to draw some clarifying cards, because I'm not sure if this is just your overall life energy. This could also just be the love experience that you have with yourself. But I feel what's coming towards you, it's almost like when you kind of look forward, you might think to yourself, you know, and also you might not be putting so much actual thought into this up until this particular point in time. But it's almost like, you know, I'm not going to bother. I'm not in the mood for that. I don't have the strength for that. I'm so not going to do that, you know. I'm not going to care. I don't really worry. And I feel what's coming towards you is actually a lot less sort of like friction, you know, problems than you might actually be sort of thinking. So You know, you might be making decisions at this particular point in time, or you might be in your mind at this particular point in time, because you're saying, you know what, I don't really have sort of like the I don't have the energy, or I'm not in the mood really for any sort of problems, you know. But I don't really feel that there are problems coming towards you. In fact, there might be quite a leisurely period that is actually ahead of you, and the future in itself, especially with finances, because for many of you there could be like a financial connotation here somewhere. In actual fact, this is sort of like you know, this is like a comeback of karma. So whereas, for example, you may have you know, you may have been brought to where you are, and there might have been sort of like some sort of like financial sort of conflict, which might have quite a strong influence on your decision making going forward. What you give out, this is sort of like what is now coming back to you in a positive way. So you can actually be looking forward to some financial gain that you didn't expect, you know, sort of like everything that you lost. I always believe that everything goes out, it gets multiplied by at least 4 times and come back to us, because 4 is obviously about balance, about us, where we are. So you might be looking forward to some pretty nice settlements over here that you did not expect. Okay. Right, now that I am hydrated, your overall energy is the 9 of Wands. So this is you finally making peace with a situation. Okay, so with the 5 of Wands in the recent past, there is a very sort of like you know, this is more like an inner sort of conflict. So especially for those of you that are not with someone, this sort of, you know, separation, breakup, letting go, whatever it was, this thing wrote your back. Like, it was no ride in the park. It was a lot more than you expected. It sort of brought a lot of your inner demons out, but a lot of times that is also done because we are ready to move over to the next phase, and that is how soulmates sometimes come in to help us with things. But, you know, they sort of like shake us up, and there is really nothing pleasurable about that experience. But then also you start to sort of lighten up, and so where you are right now, there might have been so much healing that was done, more like celebrating yourself. Really couldn't be bothered with anybody else right now. Kaboom, just like that. And you're like, I didn't ask for that. But also, where you are, there is beautiful healing that is taking place for an emotional sort of situation that was really badly riding back. And I feel that before, with that 5 of Wands, you know, it's sort of like all over the place, and everything is sort of like affected by it. Now you sort of like started to, you can almost say like file things, if you want to think of it in such a you know, sort of earthly analogy, and you're beginning to really see things for what they actually are right now. You're beginning to see yourself in the situation for where you are right now. You begin to realize that maybe you overreacted just a little bit, you know, which is absolutely fine. But also now with everything nicely being sort of like filed away and the emotions more understood and stuff like that, this is where you are feeling what you are feeling, be it happiness, be it sadness, be it gladness, be it whatever, but you're very honest about what it is that you are feeling. And so you're feeling whatever you need to feel, but you're not feeling more than that, you know. So you're not really over dramatizing the situation. You're understanding what it is that you have to accept, what is in the past, what it is that you need to let go of, and you understand that everything in life doesn't have to be wrong as a result of that. These are the things that are working out. This is understanding that there are a lot of things that are still beautifully working out. This is the problem. Okay, so this is what needs to be dealt with. All right, clarity. Clarity is an amazing thing. Okay, now let me clarify. And using a traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, it almost feels like I don't know where that's coming from, but it's they're saying it feels like a sort of like classical tongue-in-cheek sort of, you know, romantic situation. So let's see. Since that is what they are giving, we will read it like a very traditional sort of tarot reading. There's a card here that wants to come out. So the 5 of Wands, which is the recent past, remember, brought you to where you currently are. That is clarified by the 10 of Cups. Hold on for this. The Ace of Cups and Remember that the overall energy for you is the Nine of Wands. We're looking at the recent past now, what brought you to where you currently are. And the third clarifying card there for you is the Nine of Wands. So the one of the clarifiers for your recent past and your overall energy are both the Nine of Wands. And that is why I always find it so beneficial to clarify with two different decks. Okay? Right. So, where you currently are, you know, overall sort of energy in your life, this clarity that you are getting, you got this as a direct result of these emotions that you felt in the past. There was a desire for your life to be a certain way, but you were not ready. Okay? Now, think of this in sense, you know, in the sense of almost like if you want to have a lot of money, but you're not very good at managing money, or maybe you've got like an addiction or something like that, you know, or you don't really quite know how to handle money yet, or to how to say no to people. If you get a lot of money, in that sense, it is not going to be a blessing for you. It might make things a whole lot worse. So the same thing with love. This is what you wanted. You wanted this Ten of Cups situation, which is the beautiful life, which is the family, which is the perfection, which is the flow, which is all the really wonderful, beautiful things where everything just sort of, you know, very sort of ceaselessly just flow. But the thing that we often don't realize is that it doesn't really matter what you're dealing with, be it love, be it a career, be it money, be it whatever. There is a lot of lessons that needed to be learned, and there's a certain sort of like a stage that you need to arrive to in order to be able to, you know, maintain that sort of flow. It doesn't just magically happen, okay? And it's like a doctor that does like an operation, you know, maybe like a surgeon, and he does something like really sort of like, you know, delicate, and he may be doing it quite ceaselessly and, you know, just out of going through it from one step to the next, but there's a lot of preparation and a lot of hard work that needed to be done in order to get him to that particular point where he's able to perform that operation so ceaselessly. So that situation that you had, that whole I don't even know what that was, but it was what it, in a sense, it might have felt very much sometimes like you were sort of like, you know, at the roller coasters, and then, you know, next thing you were in the cart, and the next thing the cart sort of came up off the wheels, and everything just went flying, and, you know, it was, yeah, it was a very bad, almost like a Jumanji sort of situation over there. But that is, I feel that for many of you, you had a very sort of almost like idealistic picture of the world, you know, and of love, and of how things are going to be, and how things must be, and how it must feel. There were a lot of flaws, and this would be within yourself, because we're speaking about wands, and wands is about our personal relationship inside of ourselves, with ourselves, inside of our heart. You were not as picture perfect as you thought you were, you know? And that situation really revealed that to yourself and place you on that path of readiness, so that when you get this Ten of Cups situation, that it's a blessing for you. And there with the Ace of Cups, now this is where things get challenging, because in order for you to fully benefit from the experience itself, it has to be a real experience. You know, you can't exactly learn a real lesson with sort of like you know, half an experience, which really just means that there was nothing really beautiful about that situation. Nothing. All right. It was wild. It was crazy. It showed up a lot of things to you. Again, with wands there, with the Nine of Wands, it is with that within. Now, if you look at these two cards, with the recent past, this is sort of, it's almost a little bit, you know, arrogant, standing up, like, who do you think you are? I mean, how dare you? Like, how dare you do this to me? Like, who do you think you are? In your overall energy, this is more a realization and even a gratitude for that particular situation, realizing that that is exactly what you needed to have. Beautiful. Now, when we look at your overall energy, okay, they said I must draw another card. I decided to move on, and then the card decided to fall out. So what was it? Eight of Swords. This situation really had you. It was probably the hardest thing ever you wanted to have, that you ever had in your life, for the simple reason you couldn't sort of wiggle yourself out of this. This was a situation that you were going to feel. This was the dark night of the soul. There was no flashlight, and you had to discover the light within yourself so that you could light up and then light your own way out of the dark. It was not nice. It was not nice at all. Not in the slightest. Many of you might have dealt with a situation there that there might have been a lot of lies and a lot of deceit and a lot of you know, this is almost like when you get into a situation, sometimes you're like, what's even going on here, you know? You had no way out. It was through. So another card that seems to really want to come out today because it was there all the time. So with the Knight of Cups in reverse for your current energy, which is actually quite amazing, you've got the King of Cups, which is about the most amazing card that you can get when you're speaking about love. We're speaking about the Eight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. So Aquarius. First of all, you are, and this is the wonderful thing, because many of you are in that space where you're not so much looking, where you're not trying to pull strings, you're not really pulling your old tricks here, you know. Like when you look in the mirror or you really look back on your life, you're quite surprised at how far you may have come, actually. You know, you've really matured. And you are really, really ready. And this is also the amazing thing, and this is why cards are so incredible. Remember, in the recent past there was the Eight of Swords, and in the current situation there's the Eight of Pentacles. So it is that feeling trapped and realizing that you can't really escape from the situation. You know, when we can't sort of like pull our own old tricks, you know, we sort of it's almost like sort of leveling up by default. You know, it's like a plant that you can't just sort of like grow on the ground anymore. Like an ivy, it needs to go up on something, so it starts going up the wall. All right. So you started to like rise up there. This is a new start. This is a new beginning, and I feel you might have your eye on someone, or someone's got their eye on you. Let's clarify that. Somebody's got their eye on somebody here. Let's see. Queen of Cups. There's a natural merging, a natural flow that's taking place over here. Okay? So as you really focus so much on you, there's a lot of work that you have been doing and that you are actually doing. Now, some of you have been doing a lot of work, but you've been doing it very sort of half-heartedly. You're really in it now. Okay, in your own life, you're very present in your own life right now, and that in itself, obviously, you know, it makes a person attractive. Let's draw you another card for that. What an interesting reading for the love. Okay, and the Nine of Cups. It wasn't quite upright, it was so semi, like almost like this. So things are turning around, because remember, we are clarifying the Nine of Cups in reverse. And so things are starting to, you know, they're starting to take a turn for you. And that's all you really need to worry about. Now let's look at what's coming towards you, that Five of Pentacles in reverse. What energy is heading towards you? What is happening over here for the Aqua Babies? Okay, a couple of cards fell out. The Hierophant was on top. I did put it back in the deck. Well, I took the Hierophant out, but what I was putting back in the deck was the Three of Swords, which was underneath the Hierophant, which is obviously, you know, also about realizing your own strength. So there's a beautiful new foundation that's taking place over here. It might feel very new, but it's built on the strong foundation of everything yourself and your partner has actually come through. So there's a lot of support of that connection. The Lovers are coming out right there, the next card for you. This is about really meeting your soulmate. So amazing when you're sort of done with things in life, that's when they come. So you've got the World, you've got the Three of Wands there, and you've got the Four of Cups. So if you're wondering earlier on who's coming towards who, this is the invitation that you are getting towards love, and you're like, you know what, I'm fine. I am fine. You know, I may like you, all those type of things, but you know, I'm okay. I don't really need this. I'm not gonna turn my life upside down right now. I am doing quite fine. You know, but what is the heart? It sounds like those old sort of movies. What is the heart? All right, let's clarify the Nine of Wands. Also, I feel many of you are, oh, look at this, Two of Cups. Many of you are realizing how deserving and worthy you are of love right now, you know, good love, not just this, you know, taking me for a fool type of vibe. So let's see. So we've got, this is a definite coming together of a situation. Did I say one more card? We've got the Two of Cups, we've got the Two of Swords, we've got the Ace of Swords, and we've got the Five of Wands. Look at this beautiful flow of a story. So this is really the realization where there's a, again, so there's a coming together of, you know, energies. You know, there's a coming together of energies here. So this is one of those things that just sort of kind of happens. There with the Two of Swords, it's almost like you're not really foreseeing this happening. It's, you know, you might be wondering, and somehow suddenly you just kind of found yourself realizing that this is the person. So this is not so much a mind sort of thought out thing. This is more getting to a certain space where you realize, oh, it's you. All right, and you're beginning, and I feel that the reason why you needed to go through that Five of Wands there in the recent past, remember, which brought you to where you currently are. So yeah, with the Ace of Swords and the Five of Wands, you are getting, this is almost like you getting with the sort of person that you wouldn't normally go for. You wouldn't consider this person. This wouldn't be the sort of person that you would open your heart to, that you would open your mind or your consciousness to. Even if you like them, you wouldn't go with them because you'd be like, they don't fit into my world. They don't fit into my perfect picture of what I would like things to be. And so you're beginning to realize, and I'm looking here, the Devil is on the top of the deck, and let's see what's at the back. The Nine of Pentacles. This is all about abundance. You are getting to, this is about a connection that somehow happens with someone, and this would not have worked out had you been the person that you were before, because the person that you were before would not see the value of this connection. To you, it would be like, no, they're not my type, they're not in my class, they're out of my, you know, they're just not in my sort of world. All right. So, and it's got nothing to do with arrogance or anything like that. This is more where, you know, your priorities in a sense maybe needed to change a little bit, so you can see sort of like, you know, the value of another person for who they actually are. You would have missed that before, and because your desire was for such beautiful love, you needed to be molded to look at things in a different way, and this is now what's basically happening for you, which is amazing. All right, so your card fell right out. I'm going to see what it is. Remember, if the reading resonates with you, you're more than welcome to like, share, comment, and subscribe. The card for you that is coming out is Archangel Michael. It says, you are protected. All right. And it says, thank you, Michael, for surrounding me with your protective light. Beautiful, eh? Okay. See you all next time. Bye.